Hello everyone, Sandrak here. So in this video I want to talk about Kokomi. So this video will help you understand her kit, whereas my video tomorrow or sometime in the future will help you understand how exactly she is worth as a 5-star. So of course, with that said, before we get started, there's still a bow giveaway going on, and of course I'll do a Kokomi giveaway. Now for the bow giveaway, all you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe on that video. So if you want to enter, it is in the linked in the description below. So with that said, let's get started. So a few things about Kokomi. She is more like she is not exactly a Barbara in the sense. She is more like an amalgamation of all the Hydro characters so far. Probably less of Mona because she can't really sub DPS. She has no way to buff other characters' damage. But other than that, she can DPS like a Child. I mean, Child does Hydro damage close range. On top of that, she can apply Hydro off-field with her jellyfish like Xingqiu, and on top of that, she can heal crazy like Barbara. So of course, that's what she does. And tomorrow I'll discuss her strengths in each one of them, so today is purely going over the kit. So let's start with her stats progression. Her 3 base stats at level 90, she's looking at 234 base attack. That's rather low among 5 stars, but the thing is that everything with her scales of HP, so base attack doesn't really matter here. I'll go into that later. Her base defense is 657, no one really cares about that, and her base HP is 13k, around 13,471 to be exact. It is a little bit lower among the 5 stars even, but the thing with long range characters like bow and callus users is that other than of course Child, who has to do close range, is around 13k as well. Everyone else, long range and bow characters, their HP at level 90 is generally below 11k, so this is actually pretty high compared to callus users. So this is why even though it's on the lower end, but MiHoYo is trying to tell us that there is an emphasis put on HP here. Now, of course, she ascends with Hydro damage bonus, which is a huge pain. The Electro Archon used to ascend with Electro damage bonus, but later got switched to Energy Recharge. I honestly hope that they swap this to HP or at least healing bonus before, you know, the release of actual her character, but they're probably not going to do that. So Hydro damage bonus is useful here, but it's more of a pain. Crit rate is 5% at all times. That doesn't matter because she has negative crit rate. We'll go into the talents later. Crit damage also doesn't matter because if she cannot crit, then there's no point stacking on crit damage. So moving on to her stats really fast, moving on to her Ascension materials really fast, she will need the Hydro gemstones, which are called the Varunada Lazurite Silver. The gemstones basically dropped from any boss that is Hydro. As for the actual drop material, she needs the Dew of Repudiation, which is dropped by the Hydro Hypostasis, who will come out next patch. For the pearls, she will need the Sango Pearl, which is local to, I believe, Watatsumi Island. It is not the Loach Pearl for any of you who has been here since 2.1. Since 1.1, you might know the Loach Pearl pains. It is not the Loach Pearl. As for the mob drops, she will need the Spectral Husk from the Spectres. They are, again, not available in this patch yet, so we'll have to wait for the next patch. Quite a bit of farming for her on day 1 of next patch if you try to maximize her. Now that is all, and of course more. Moving on to her attacks. So her base attack actually has, I believe, one of the highest damage multipliers among callus users, which is why she is meant as a DPS or at least a sub DPS at sometimes. But again, the point is that her her auto attack can do damage. It combos up to 3 consecutive strikes, and it does Hydro damage. If you, of course, I can't show the animations here, but if you have looked at the animation, it looks pretty. It looks very pretty. So that's all I have to say regarding her normal attack. Nothing much about that. Moving on to her E. Her E especially summons what they like to call Bake Kurage. I don't know how you pronounce that. But essentially something a jellyfish. When the jellyfish is summoned for that split instant, Kokomi will be applied with Hydro status. Same case as Xingqiu, but unlike Barbara, when the jellyfish is on the field, the jellyfish will not apply you with Hydro status, which is very good. Because in Barbara's case, when everyone is under her healing ring, the active character is periodically applied with Hydro. This will not happen, which is very good. So if you're getting frozen, you're only getting frozen once when you're casting the skill. So when the jellyfish is on the field for 12 seconds, every 2 seconds, it will be able to do 2 things consecutively. Basically, it will be able to deal damage, at the same time, it will be able to heal. The damage numbers are okay, but the healing is honestly overflowing. But again, this is not the comment. This is not the video to talk about that. All you know is that it will be able to heal and it will be able to do some damage. The healing should be once. The healing and damage should both be once every 2 seconds, which makes it very good. Because better than Diona and Soyuz ult, of course. And on top of that, I believe that Yoimiya herself will heal and do damage for once when the jellyfish is summoned. So in total, we're looking at 6 to 7 times the damage, depending on how you count it. And the duration is 12 seconds, 20 seconds cooldown. And of course, with the cooldown of 20 seconds, we'll talk about the other problem that Kokomi runs into later. I'll just go over really fast here. She has problem with energy recharge. Moving on to her Q. Her Q is sort of interesting. First of all, regarding the energy cost, it is the second Q to ever cost 70 energy. The first one is Xiao. Now, I don't know exactly why it costs 70 when everyone in Inazuma costs 80. But overall, her Q is sort of weird in the sort of sense that she does a lot of different things in her Q. The first one is that she will be able to receive a damage buff on her normal and charge attacks, and as well as the jellyfish's damage based on her max HP. This is why you want to stack on her HP. Her attack, it doesn't really matter. On top of that, her normal and charge attack will be able to heal nearby party members by her max HP. So this is why you want to stack HP. And the third one is she is increased resistance to interruption. This honestly doesn't matter too much. The fourth one is that she can walk on water. The way to exactly word it is that the water will be counted as land. So if you have seen the clip of Kokomi dying on water, because the water is counted as land, that's exactly how it works. So she will treat all water like if it's on land, and as soon as this skill is over, she will just drop back into the water like any normal character. So this is basically how her thing works. The duration is 10 seconds, the cooldown is 18 seconds, and the energy cost is 70. So again, I won't comment on the strengths of this, that's for the next video. So moving on to her talent's Ascension, she will need the books of transience, which will also be used by Yoimiya. So if you just farm them on the same days you farm Yoimiya's books. As for the mob material, she'll need the spectral husk again from the specters, and finally she will be needing the boss ascension material past level 6. She'll need something from the Crimson Witch of Flames, who will be a weekly boss next patch. And moving on to her passives and her constellations, going over her passives first. So like most Inazuma characters, she has 4 passives. The first one is that when her own jellyfish is on the field and she uses her Q, the jellyfish duration is refreshed. So essentially what you can do is you can abuse this by having the jellyfish on the field, then wait for 10 seconds, then cast your Q, then jellyfish duration is refreshed, and after that is done, your next jellyfish duration is almost done. So this is very nice, then she can basically do that. And on top of that, this basically allows for the jellyfish to eat into the entire 10 seconds duration of her Q for more damage. So this is a very nice passive. The second one is that when her auto and charge attack is receiving the Q damage bonus based off her max HP, they will additionally receive 15% damage bonus off healing bonus. Now, exactly how much she has for her healing bonus, not much. So we're looking at a base healing bonus of 0. She can gain 25% from one of her later passives. And on top of that, the 2-piece Maiden's Beloved can give her more healing bonus if she's going that route. And on top of that, I believe the Circlet can also give a little bit more healing bonus if she is going that route. So overall, we're looking at around 75% healing bonus if you are not using her weapon. And if you're using her actual weapon, her lore weapon, then that we're looking at another about 10% healing bonus, I believe. So overall, you're looking at around 75 to 85% healing bonus, give or take, if you want to calculate the damage bonus here. The third one is that decreases the stamina swimming consumption, so that is very good. And of course, the fourth one, she gains 25% healing bonus by default, but cannot crit. Her crit rate is decreased by 100%. Now, of course, for any crazy ones out here, you can build her crit by having her crit rate go up to 150. But overall, what I would recommend is just don't build her crit. Her damage is actually going to be okay, probably not good to look at, but okay without even critting. And of course, with that said, you can stack more into her HP, which is nice. So moving quickly over her constellations. For C1, during the last hit of her normal, when under her Q state, during the last hit of her normal attack, she will release a fish. The fish will deal 30% of her max HP as hydro damage bonus. This will be considered normal attack damage. This is very nice because this can also get buffed by her Q. So just like a nice bonus on top. Also a heads up for the rest of her constellations, except for C2, the rest of them are pretty much all damage increase. So for her C2, when she heals someone with 50% HP or less, the jellyfish and her actual damage will both receive a damage increase. So the jellyfish will receive a damage increase, and her normal and charge attack will also receive a damage increase. So this is the only one that isn't really focused towards damage. It is more focused towards other things, but other than that, the rest is pretty much all focused towards damage. C3 is increasing her Q by 3 levels. C4 is that C4 is more used for energy recharge, so when she is in her Q state, when her normal attack speed is increased by 10%. On top of that, normal attack gives her 0.8 energy particles once every 0.6 seconds. Now again, I can't show the footage here, but her normal attack 3 cycle takes about 1.6 seconds. So overall, you are looking at every single hit will be able to trigger this 0.8 energy recharge. So basically, this sort of helps her with her 70 energy cost problem, but overall I believe you still need to bring a battery or bow to deal with this situation, because overall this is not enough to deal with her energy recharge problem. It just sort of helps. Her C5 is increasing her ease level by 3, and for her C6, she gains a 40% hydro damage bonus when the character she is healing is above 80% HP, of course again in her Q state. So as you can see, almost all of her damage bonus, almost all of her constellation is focused on damage. Of course, with the exception of C2, really, C2 is sort of leeching off someone with 50% less HP to trigger this, and C4 is more used for increasing energy recharge. So of course, with these two, the rest are all pretty much focused on damage. And personally, again, I want to do a little bit of commenting, but not too much. She's more like a bigger version of Noelle compared to like a bigger version of Barbara, because she can do damage. She is more like Noelle with her Q state almost at all times. So she's able to heal, do damage. Of course, she cannot shield. But other than that, her hydro application and her ability to heal and also do damage at the same time should make her sort of okay, at least in a state where currently in the Abyss, one character is most used for multiple slots. This allows you to bring more characters into your team. So she can cover both sub DPS healing and also hydro application. I believe that she will be usable in the Abyss, definitely. But exactly how good, we'll have to see her damage. Now, of course, that is saved for next video. Thank you very much for watching. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. Thank you and have a nice day.